Hello everyone, you're welcome back here to Canning Farms, and in today's video we have some new arrivals. So last night over 100 heifers arrived. They're all pedigree Holstein heifers. They're lovely heifers. Now a few smaller ones in it, but overall nice heifers. Those who are new to the channel, I do a type of farming here which is slightly different. It's called contract rearing. So that basically means that I take in dairy heifers like these and I get paid a daily rate then to look after them. Stock bulls are run here on this farm. They're bull to stock bulls. Some go back before housing just because I haven't got the space to hold on to the whole 100. So I'll hold on to about 70. So some go back in November, October to different destinations, and then the rest will be leaving the farm here in January. This year I'm also rearing 14 other heifers for another client, so therefore I'm running in and around approximately 120 heifers, dairy heifers on 68 acres of a platform. With that I have to get 2 cuts of silage off that. So on top of that then I also have my own cattle, so we have a few dexters there for different schemes and stuff, and then I also have them couple of heifers that I put in embryos into. I do have a video on the embryo transfers come along and the process about that, but just had to delay the input of them, so I will have a video on that side of things coming, but in the meantime we have to get cracking because these arrived last night. They came a bit quick, so we have a bit of fencing to do. So now we're just down on some of the land. So those of you again who are new to the channel, my farm consists of 30 acres of flat ground here which is rented, and I have 40 acres of my own which is kind of the hill sections along here up by the fort. That's where the yard is, and then it goes back here. This plot here was kept by the owner for their own cattle, and I'm renting 30 acres, and I have another section just below the hill there. So the type of fence posts that I use, you've seen it before if you watch the channel, is these metal posts. I'm using these the last couple of years. Find them very easy to drive, very easy to put up. You strain your wire, it's straight, you go along, put up your posts, put in your insulators. Then the insulators are just these little ones here that clip on. Great job, especially this year. Like I said, these came yesterday, so I spent yesterday just kind of going around checking all the insulators. There was only 2 broken the whole time. No posts had to be redriven, no posts had to be replaced, obviously because they're metal, and in places all I had to do then was go along and strain the wire. Just these boundary fences here is all I'm doing now this year, and along the riverbank there there's a wooden fence there. I'm not going to replace the whole wooden fence because I don't have this on a long term lease. I have it for a couple more years, and look, you don't know what's going to happen down the line. So these metal posts, put them down. If the land is ever gone, whip them up again and you can bring them with you. So first group is in. There is 37 in this group. We're going to run them through the crush. I'll go through what we're checking for here now in a few minutes, and then what I have to do then is the second group is bigger. There's 60 odd in that, so I'm going to take some of that and leave the groups around 50. When I weigh them later on, I'll go through their weights, and then next week what I'll do is I'll split them by their weight. So I'm going to have probably 3 groups rather than 2. So I'm going to have a 40, 40 and 20 odd. So that's what I'm going to do this year. So you can see why I have to split them, because you have the likes of this heifer that's smaller, then you have these heifers that are bigger, and obviously these are older heifers. So these smaller ones need to obviously get extra feeding to bring them up to bulling weight, so they won't get a chance with these bigger ones here. They'll bully them out of the way. So I'll split all these smaller ones next week out into a separate group. So first heifer is in. So first thing we do is scan the tag. Hopefully she's an electronic tag, she does. And what that'll do then is that will take her weight as well. So she's 352. That'll store it on an internal spreadsheet which I can download at the end, and all the numbers are here so I can get an accurate count. Then what we're going to go through then is each heifer. We're going to check for, what I check for here is, we take the tag number, look for pink eye, warts, if there's any lameness, their conditions, cuts or ringworm, and then just any general comments. One thing I check for as well is that they have 4 teats, because it might sound stupid, but some people got caught out where they bought heifers and they might have 2 viable teeth. So pink eye, so none there, both eyes are clear. Then we're looking at conditions, so you basically rub your hand down her side, you check her pin bones here for a bit of condition, so she's in good condition. Next thing we're looking for is warts. So where we look for on these is at the back. You're looking for the udders, but she has 1 wart there on her. If you look there, she has 1 wart down there on the middle of her belly. So we'll just take a note of that. But her teeth are clear. She has 4 teeth. She wasn't lame coming in. She has no cuts or ringworm when she was coming in, and so basically that heifer is clear. In contract rearing, this day is probably the most crucial day because any problems there is with the heifers, you need to let them know, need to let the owner know as soon as possible. I've learned in the past that you're better off just telling everything at the start, getting rid of any problem heifers, because at the end of the day it's going to come back on you if they don't perform. So this is crucial. As well as that, then any issues there is, the owners can deal with them down the line. And now group number 2 is in, so I think there's about 67 in this group. So the first 12 or 13 are going with that group we just weighed. They're just outside the shed here. So yeah, these are a bigger bunch of heifers. Not as many small ones in here, but again, any of the light ones taken out next week, put into their own little group. And yeah, so we'll get into this now. Okay, so it's been a couple of days there since we done that initial inspection, and I have the heifers out. So I'm going to show you the way here that I do split the paddocks and stuff, and what we do here just to kind of manage grazing. The last week has been absolutely horrendously bad rain. Since we done the last video, it was glorious sunshine, and then it basically turned into a monsoon, so conditions have been hard grazing. Some bits of the paddocks have got cut up, but grass growth has kicked on a bit. I'll show you now in a second the grass that we have. One of the heifers in here as well, she has a swelled foot, so we'll have to bring her up and give her some antibiotics and some anti-inflammatories, so we'll get at that now. So this heifer here has a swelling on her front right foot. You can see there she's a bit uneasy in walking on it. I'd say it's just some sort of infection, so we'll get her up there now and get her in and injected. So on the farm here I run a paddock system, so basically I have the farm split into 3-acre increments. And then what I'm doing this time of year when the grass is starting to kick off a bit is I just run a temporary fence wire down the middle of each section. You can see there the last one that was grazed, they're in here 2 days ago, they're in here this morning, and then they're just going on to the fresh grass now. The paddock system allows you better control over the grass. As well, we had an awful downpour of rain the last couple of nights, the last 3 or 4 days it was non-stop rain, so it also allows you to sacrifice a small area of a paddock rather than the whole field getting messed up. The cattle on a rainy night, they'll just walk all night because they're not happy, especially in these paddocks down here. There's not much shelter, so rather than destroying a whole paddock, you can restrict them down to just one area, and look, you can reseed that afterwards. So this time of year I will always have 2 or 3 rolls of electric wire on the quad, and I'll also have 10 or 20 pigtails on the back. That means I can put up a fresh fence and take back the old one, stick that and replace it on, so you always have it. Later on in the year then, when the grass growth starts to slow down, I'll start to give them maybe the full paddock. When the weather's a bit drier, give them full paddock, won't put as much pressure on them. Grass growth in the last couple of days has really kicked off. Milder temperatures at night and that bit of rainfall has allowed the grass really to kick on. We had a great spell of weather there before that bit of rain. We had 2 weeks of unreal sunshine. It was like an early summer, but the problem was it was getting off cold at night and it was probably that touch early for grass. But as you can see now, it's starting to kick on. So like I said, every day when I move them, I just basically take up that fence and I'll bring it to the next paddock that they're going into, split that. So therefore I have a few days of fences moved. I do the same with the paddocks up on the hill. So we nearly have the full paddock grazed. We just have one hill there. That section there is getting reseeded. It was grazed and we're through these first, we're into our third paddock here down here. So going well. Heifers overall very happy with. Average weight was over 300 kilos. Like I said, a few light ones in it, but not too bad. Nothing major with them this year, and even the warts that a lot of them have, they're not actually on the teats, which is a major issue. They're actually on their stomachs or on their bellies, so they're not too bad. So yeah, that's day one, or the first few days of this contract rearing. Can be very busy, but if you're organised, and now it just comes all of a sudden, they just ring and say right, they're arriving this day, and you kind of have to get everything ready. But just like I said, every year I'm learning from the mistakes I made the year before, and like that, just simple things like moving the fences when you're down here instead of coming back down another day and doing it, just getting everything done in the one time saves a lot of time. I'm here by myself, it's just me farming here, so I don't have anyone else that can, if I don't feel like doing it, there's no one else to do it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as you can see we have a full house. So in the next couple of weeks I'll have a few videos coming out in a bit of a quicker time than what I'm usually putting them up in. I have a few things going on in the minute. And yeah, I'll do an updated video maybe on the pros and cons of contract rearing over the next I done one a couple of years ago, I think 2 years ago, I think, or a year ago, 2 years ago, and I can just sort of update that one. A few people have been asking for it, so yeah, I'll do that in the next couple of while. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if we get going at it, we'll do some embryo transfers on the heifers. I'll film that if we have a few. And then in the next video I have something that's very hippy dippy, but anyway, that'll probably be the video or the next one after it, and a bit of a strange one, but you'll see what I mean whenever we get into it. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button, it really helps out, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.